What's up? So I'm going to talk about my thoughts on FX Replay along with everything that I like and don't like about it. So I'm first going to start off by explaining what FX Replay is. It's just a backtesting tool that's going to help you optimize your strategy along with finding your win rate, and it can give you a lot of other statistics. It also allows you to go back on the 1 minute as far as 2016, and you can replay this data, like this past price data, at any speed that you'd like, and you can trade it while it's happening, and you can pause it at any time. You can place limit orders, you can place stop orders, you can place market orders, and you can set a take profit and a stop loss just as if you were trading in real time. So that's basically what backtesting is, though, just going back and testing your strategy. So why would you want to backtest? You can test a large sample size of like a trading strategy, and you can also do this without wasting your own capital, because normally you'd have to either sit there every day and trade it without money, or you might even be trading it with real money. So now you could test like a whole year, and you could do this in a couple hours. So now I'm going to get into a quick explanation of how to use it, and then I'm going to tell you everything that I like and don't like about it. So when you first get into FX Replay, this is what you're going to see, except if this is your first time coming in here, you're not going to have any past sessions. So to create a session, you're just going to hit create session in the top left, and then you're going to type in the starting account balance, and then you're going to type in what pair you're going to trade. So I could select GBP USD, and also if let's say I want to trade divergence with like Euro USD, I could add that second pair here, and then you're going to select the starting day. So you can go as far back as 2016, so I'll just select like here, and then the ending date, I'll just make like that. And then when it's asking for a strategy, it is optional, but let's say if you have multiple sessions using the same strategy, on the right, it'll combine them for you and show the results of them, like with them combined. So it'll show the total wins, losses, and what percentage that would be. So then after that, you can name it. So I'll just name this test. You can put a description, and all that it's asking for smooth candles is it won't allow any gaps between the candles. So let's say if there's a gap, it'll just connect the two candles. So to get into it, all you're going to do is either hit play now, or you can click anywhere in that bar and just hit continue. So now that you're actually in that session, on the bottom it's going to show you your open and close positions. You can minimize that if you want, and then next to that you can click this eye to hide the balance if you don't want to see that, and then you can change to any time frame you want. So I'll just go to the 5 minute, and then let's say, well, I'll show you how you change the time first. So I could just have it start playing, and then you can change the speed at which it plays here, and then if you wanted to go bar by bar, you could just hit that. And there's also a shortcut on the keyboard if you hit Control and Space. So I do that a lot. And then see, it says this toggle right here, it says sync time frame with chart, because you can actually have each movement of time to be any frequency. So it's independent of the time frame, which I like to leave that ticked off. But let's say I want to enter a trade now. So let's say I want to enter when it breaks above the high of this candle. I'll put my stop here. I'll put my take profit up here. So all I'm going to do is I will click on this long or short tool, hit place order, and it's going to ask you how much you're risking. So you can select percentage of the initial balance or the current balance, or you could manually type in how much you're risking or the percentage, and then it's going to calculate your position size for you right here. And then your entry would be carried over from the long or short tool along with the take profit and the stop loss. And then you can put any tags, and you can put whatever tags you want here. These are just the ones I've put, but you can type in anything. So I could even put testing as a tag, but let's just put that tag. It automatically carried over that I'm buying, and I have this is a stop order. I could also place a limit or a market order if I wanted to. And there's two options. I can either hit save or save in journal. So if I hit save, it's just going to put that trade, and it'll put a pending order. If I want to cancel that, I can just hit this X next to that buy stop, and then I'm going to click on it again, hit place order, and I'm gonna hit save and journal this time. So that's also gonna place the order, but it's also gonna journal that trade. So it brings up this little window right here. And let's say I want to add a screenshot of that trade. I can easily do that by hitting that button. If let's say I set up a checklist, that main screen, I could select that, and let's say these are the criteria I wanted it to meet. I could check off all these criteria, or let's say it didn't meet one of these, I could leave it blank. But I'm not going to do that for this. And then under here, I could modify the tags again if I wanted to. And then, so now I'm going to play through. So we got entered in. So I'll play it through. And we just lost right here. It stopped me out. So now let's say I want another screenshot. If I come back to that window and hit add screenshot, I just added another screenshot. And let's say I want a screenshot of the 1 hour. I'll come back, take another screenshot. I can leave that tag. I can even put a little description if I want for that trade. I'll hit save. So now this is my journal. So I haven't taken another position yet, but that was my trade for the day. See, it shows that one. But if I go to the next day, that would go away. And I can check go to like New York session. And then yeah, but so it'll show all your wins and losses on this screen right here. And I can go back and view, edit, or delete this. So let's say I just want to view it. There's all the pictures. And it's nice that you can just go on a calendar and see how many trades you took each day and if they were winners and losers. So that's pretty much how to use it. Oh, and also, if you want to look at the bottom two, you can also just see the open or close positions. And if you click, see it says date start, it'll actually bring you to the trade. So yeah, that if let's say if I forget where I took that trade, I can just easily go back to it. So now I'm going to go through everything that I like and don't like about this software. The first thing that I like about FX Replay, and there's a lot of things I like about FX Replay, but the first one is that you cannot cheat while you're backtesting. Because what I previously used to do was I used to use TradingView and I used to use the replay tool, and I would be fast forwarding, and sometimes, let's say I fast forward really fast, I'd be like, oh, you know what? I would have entered there. That fits my strategy. And you know what? That would have been a win. And I'll put that in my like Excel document that I was using to log this. And let's say sometimes too, I'd put the long or short tool there, and then the trade would lose, and I'd look at it and say, you know what, actually it didn't meet all my criteria, so I'm not going to log that one. But with FX Replay, for any trade to be counted, you'd have to put an order there, and then once the order gets filled, you're floating in an open profit and loss. You either have to close it for that, or you could let it hit your take profit or stop loss. But once that position gets opened, there's no like going back. Like you can't say, oh, I didn't take that trade. And then another thing I like is it's a lot easier to switch between time frames, because one problem I have with TradingView is, let's say if I'm on the 5 minute and I'm switching to the 1 hour, sometimes it would just revert me to the current price, which is really annoying. And sometimes too, if let's say even if it did work and it would show me the 1 hour, it would show me how the 1 hour candle was fully formed. So that's letting me cheat. It's showing me where price is going to go. So I didn't like that either. So another thing I like about it is I can trade this, and I can also look at the analytics in the same place, because before I said I was using TradingView and I was logging it in Excel. So that's two separate programs, but here I can go into my analytics and it has a dashboard built for me, and you can see your average risk to reward, your average trade duration, the total trades, how long you've been trading for, like just all this information. You can look at it at a calendar view. You can look at how you performed on a monthly view. You can look at your win rate, just everything. And there's also a Monte Carlo simulation, which is really cool. I'll show you what that is real quick. So this is just one test I've been doing. So what it's going to do is it's going to take my win rate, which is 31.82%, and my average risk to reward, which is 3.52, which I mean isn't the best. But let's say I want to run 10 simulations. I want to take 50 trades. So what it's going to do is it's going to take 50 trades, and each of those trades is going to have a 31.82% win rate. And if it wins, it's going to be a gain of $3,517. And if it loses, it's going to be $1,000. Because based on my data, that's what I've presented. So now it's going to show you how each simulation performed. So I mean, as you can see, I mean, it's not the best results, but at least I'm able to know that. So you can look at all that. And then another thing I like is that, oh, actually, one more thing I want to say real quick is you can even filter by tags. So let's say if I want to see just trades with like a fair value gap, I can do that. Let's say I want to see trades with just a fair value gap on Wednesday. That's what it's looking at for me right here. And let's say I want to just see all the trades just on Wednesday. Like, there's just so many ways you can look at it. But you can also open multiple backtesting sessions simultaneously. So let's say I'm looking at that and I want to go back to that original backtest. I can easily just click that and it brings me exactly back to where I was. Which in TradingView, it's never going to remember where you were previously. And then another thing I like, I know I said this before, but you can go as far back as 2016 and you can go to the 1 minute. On TradingView, if you're going down on the smaller time frames, you really can't go that far back. And then another thing I like about it is it has most of the popular trading instruments. There are not many things that you're going to be trading that this software doesn't offer. And another thing I like about it is it gives you more of an emotional feeling compared to if you're just using the replay tool in TradingView. Because now you actually see that you have an account balance and you're actually in drawdown and you want to get out of the drawdown. Or you're in profit and you like want to hold on to that profit. Whatever. You can have whatever emotional battle that you can have. And TradingView doesn't allow that. But that's a lot more similar to the actual market conditions. And then another thing I like about this is that the devs, the developers, they're constantly updating this software. And then there's an active just Discord community where they're just listening to their customers. And one thing I have to say to support this is that I made this review, I think like 4 months ago, and so many things have changed since then that I basically had to remake this. The last time I made this, there wasn't a journal. You couldn't easily take screenshots of your trades. They didn't have that checklist. You couldn't test divergence. And there's probably other things I'm even forgetting too. But they've updated so many things. And it's just nice to see it. They're constantly just trying to improve the software that they're putting out there. And I know I said this before, but there's 3 different order types. You can do a stop order, a limit order, or a market order. I appreciate that there's the 3 different order types because I trade break a candle entries a lot of times. So that stop order is very critical for me. And another thing I like is that you can fast forward to the next session with the click of a button. So you can hit go to and you can either hit next session, next day, or New York session. And these are just the ones that I have favorited. But you can even modify this. So let's say if you want the start of New York session to be a different time, or you want the start of London session, but you want it at a different time. And if I favorite it, it would just show up in that menu there. So I just like that. Oh, and you can even fast forward to next news event. That's interesting. But another thing I like is you can see the economic events. So see how it says like hide or show events. So in the bottom right, it would show the upcoming economic events if there were like red folder events. I guess there's none coming up. But also, if let's say I want to look at the economic calendar, you just hit economic calendar right there. So let's say today is Thursday the 16th. So you just scroll back. It's November 16th actually. Oh wait, I'm looking at past, that's why. So you can either show past, all, or future. So the 16th, so see, yeah, there's no high impact news events yesterday or today that I really see. Well, I guess there was one, but I wasn't looking at that. But yeah, you can easily see all the high impact news events. You could look at the future ones too if you wanted to. But I like that I can easily see all the news events even if they're far out. And then I also like that you can test divergence now, like I said before. And I also like that they had that screenshot feature. But that was everything I like about it. And I'm going to explain all the things that I just don't like about FX Replay. So the first thing that I don't like about FX Replay is there's a limited list of indicators. Me personally, I don't really trade with indicators, but let's say your trading is reliant on some form of indicator, you only get these indicators to work with. And let's say even if you had the source code for an indicator, they don't really let you input that. So you're stuck with these indicators. And then another thing I don't like is you can't trade extremely exotic pairs. I really don't even recommend trading extremely exotic pairs, but let's say that you do that and you want to use FX Replay, I would just go to their website first and just double check that they actually support the pair. Like they support like GJ, the Great British Pound versus the Japanese Yen, but like let's say if you're trying to trade like the Indian Rupee versus the Mexican Peso, like you might have a hard time. They're not going to support that. My biggest complaint about them, honestly, it's not that big of a deal, but let's say if I put drawings on this chart, these are just random drawings, and let's say I change the time from UTC to New York time. If I go out of this and I come back into the session, my drawings are going to be gone, and it's also going to reset it to UTC, so I have to change it back to New York time. It's really not that big of a deal. It's easily overlooked, but it's just kind of annoying that I have to do that. And I mean, honestly, besides that, I really don't have any other complaints. Overall, I highly recommend FX Replay. I mean, it is a monthly subscription, but the thing is, let's say if the information you get from this improves your trading, it could pay you back a lot more than you actually paid to them. Let's say if you learn that one type of setup is losing you money consistently, you could make a lot more money because of that information. And I also love how it builds the skill of trading. There's a lot of things I love about FX Replay, but I think you should try it out, give it a look. And then also, if you like this video, if you don't mind, just please like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your thoughts. I hope you have a great day.